Welcome to Concept with Justin. Today, we embark on a journey through the art of small front yard flower bed design and compact garden landscaping. Let's begin with the foundation of any great landscape design, understanding your space. In a small front yard, every inch counts. Start by assessing the area's unique characteristics, the amount of sunlight it receives, the soil type, and any existing features that could be incorporated into your design. This initial step is crucial in selecting plants that will thrive and creating a layout that feels both natural and intentional. When designing a small front yard, the key is to create the illusion of space while maximizing functionality. One effective technique is to use vertical elements to draw the eye upward, creating a sense of height and depth. Consider incorporating trellises or vertical planters, which not only add visual interest, but also provide additional planting space for climbing vines or cascading flowers. The choice of plants in a small front yard is paramount. Opt for a mix of perennials and annuals to ensure year-round interest. Perennials like lavender, coneflowers, and daylilies offer reliable blooms year after year, while annuals like petunias and marigolds allow for seasonal color changes. Remember to consider the mature size of plants to avoid overcrowding as they grow. In compact spaces, it's essential to create a focal point that anchors the design. This could be a specimen tree with striking foliage, a beautifully crafted garden arch, or a small water feature. The focal point should draw the eye and provide a sense of purpose to the overall layout. It's the heart of your garden, around which other elements can be artfully arranged. Color plays a crucial role in small garden design. While it might be tempting to include a rainbow of hues, a more cohesive and impactful approach is to choose a limited color palette. Consider using analogous colors, those adjacent on the color wheel, for a harmonious look. Alternatively, a monochromatic scheme using various shades of a single color can create a sophisticated and serene atmosphere. Texture is another powerful tool in the designer's arsenal, especially in small spaces where every plant needs to earn its keep. Combine plants with different leaf shapes and sizes to create visual interest. Feathery foliage of ornamental grasses can provide a beautiful contrast to the broad leaves of hostas or the spiky form of yuccas. This interplay of textures adds depth and complexity to your garden, even in a limited area. When designing flower beds for a small front yard, consider their shape and how they relate to the architecture of your home. Curved beds can soften the lines of a house and create a more organic feel, while geometric shapes can complement modern architecture. The key is to ensure that the beds are proportionate to the space and don't overwhelm the yard. In compact gardens, multifunctional elements are invaluable. A low retaining wall, for instance, can double as seating while also defining planting areas. Similarly, steps leading to your front door can be flanked with cascading plants, turning a functional element into a beautiful garden feature. approach maximizes the use of space while adding layers of interest to your design. Lighting is an often overlooked aspect of front yard design, but it can dramatically enhance the beauty and functionality of your space. Thoughtfully placed landscape lighting can highlight key features, create a welcoming ambience in the evening, and improve safety. Consider using a mix of uplights to accentuate trees or architectural features, path lights to guide the way, and ambient lighting to create a warm glow. In small front yards, the pathway to your door becomes a key design element. Rather than a straight line, consider a gently curving path that invites exploration. The material you choose for your path can greatly impact the overall feel of your garden. Natural stone offers a timeless appeal, while brick can complement traditional architecture. For a more modern look, consider large format pavers or a mix of materials for added interest. Don't forget the power of containers in small garden design. Planters and pots can add splashes of color, provide height variation, and allow for easy seasonal changes. Group containers of varying sizes for a dynamic display, and consider using them to frame your entryway or define the edges of your patio or porch. When space is at a premium, every plant should serve a purpose. Consider incorporating plants that offer multiple seasons of interest. Serviceberry, for example, provides spring flowers, summer berries, and stunning fall foliage. Evergreens like boxwood or holly offer year-round structure and can be shaped to create living sculptures in your garden. In small front yards, the lawn often becomes a focal point by default. Consider whether a traditional lawn is the best use of your limited space. Alternative ground covers like creeping thyme or sedges can provide a lush green look while requiring less maintenance than grass. If you do choose to keep a lawn, ensure it's proportionate to the rest of your garden and consider shaping it into an interesting form that complements your overall design. Vertical gardening techniques can be particularly effective in small front yards. Living walls or green screens can provide privacy, hide unsightly views, and add a lush backdrop to your garden. These can be created using specialized systems or by training climbing plants on trellises or wire supports. The visual impact of a wall of greenery can be truly transformative in a compact space. Don't shy away from incorporating edibles into your front yard design. Herbs like rosemary, thyme, and lavender not only look beautiful, but also provide fragrance and can be used in cooking. Dwarf fruit trees or espalier varieties can serve as beautiful focal points while also providing a harvest. This blending of ornamental and edible plants, known as foodscaping, adds an extra layer of functionality to your garden. Water features, even on a small scale, can add a sense of tranquility and attract wildlife to your garden. A small fountain or a bubbling rock can provide soothing sounds and create a focal point. In very small spaces, consider a wall-mounted water feature that doesn't take up valuable ground space but still provides the calming effect of moving water. When designing a small front yard, it's important to consider the view from inside your home as well. The garden should be an extension of your living space, providing beautiful views from your windows. Frame these views carefully, using plants to create living pictures that change with the seasons. Maintenance is a key consideration in any garden design, but it's particularly crucial in small spaces where every plant is on display. Choose low-maintenance plants that suit your lifestyle and the amount of time you can dedicate to garden care. Proper planning at the design stage can greatly reduce the need for constant pruning, deadheading, and replanting. In small front yards, the boundaries of your property become an integral part of the design. Fences or hedges can provide a backdrop for your plantings and create a sense of enclosure. Consider using these vertical surfaces to support climbing plants, effectively doubling your planting space. The concept of layering is particularly effective in small garden design. By creating layers of height, from ground covers to medium shrubs to taller trees or structures, you can create the illusion of depth and make your space feel larger. This technique also allows you to incorporate a greater variety of plants in a limited area. forget the importance of negative space in your design. In a small garden, it's tempting to fill every inch with plants, but this can lead to a cluttered, chaotic look. Leaving some areas open, whether with a small patch of lawn, a graveled area, or a paved patio, can provide visual relief and make your garden feel more spacious. Consider the seasonal aspects of your garden. While summer blooms are often the focus, a well-designed garden should provide interest throughout the year. Spring flowering bulbs, summer perennials, fall foliage, and winter berries or bark can ensure your garden remains attractive in all seasons. In small front yards, the house itself becomes a significant part of the overall design. Consider how your plantings will complement the architecture and color of your home. Use plants to soften harsh lines or to echo the style of your house, creating a cohesive look that enhances both the building and the garden. Repetition of plants or design elements can create a sense of rhythm and cohesion in a small space. This doesn't mean planting in rigid rows, but rather echoing shapes, colors, or textures throughout the garden. This repetition guides the eye through the space and ties different areas together. A single large specimen plant can often have more impact than numerous small ones. Similarly, a striking piece of garden art or a uniquely designed planter can become a focal point that defines the character of your garden. In small front yards, the concept of outdoor rooms can still apply, albeit on a smaller scale. Define different areas of your garden for various purposes. Perhaps a small seating area near the entrance, a birdwatching nook, or a fragrant herb garden. These distinct spaces, even if they're just a few square feet, can add depth and purpose to your design. Lighting design in a small front yard can dramatically extend the usability and enjoyment of your space. Consider how your garden will look at night and incorporate lighting that highlights key features, provides safe passage to your door, and creates a welcoming ambiance. Solar-powered lights offer an eco-friendly option that's easy to install and maintain. Don't forget the power of scent in your garden design. Fragrant plants placed near walkways or seating areas can create a multi-sensory experience. Consider plants like jasmine, lilac, or honeysuckle to add layers of fragrance to your garden throughout the seasons. In small spaces, every plant should earn its keep. Look for plants that offer multiple seasons of interest: spring flowers, summer foliage, fall color, and winter structure. ensures your garden remains attractive year-round while maximizing the impact of each plant. Consider the flow of your garden design. Even in a small space, there should be a sense of journey or discovery. Use plantings or hardscape elements to create subtle divisions that reveal different views or features as one moves through the space. Trellises, arbors, or pergolas can add height and create the feeling of rooms within your garden. These structures also provide opportunities for growing climbing plants, effectively doubling your planting space. Consider incorporating elements of symmetry in your design. While the completely symmetrical layout might feel too formal for a small space, touches of symmetry, perhaps in the placement of containers or the arrangement of plants around your entrance, can create a sense of balance and harmony. Don't overlook the importance of foliage in your design. While flowers provide bursts of color, foliage is the backbone of any garden. Mix plants with different leaf colors, shapes, and textures to create year-round interest. Variegated or colored foliage can be particularly effective in brightening shady areas. In small front yards, the concept of borrowed landscape becomes particularly valuable. Consider how you can incorporate views beyond your property line into your design. Frame distant trees or interesting architecture to extend the perceived boundaries of your space. Don't forget the importance of edges in your design. Well-defined edges between lawn and planting beds or between different paving materials can create a crisp, professional look. These edges can be created with physical materials like steel edging or through careful plant selection and maintenance. Remember that your garden is a living, evolving entity. Allow for flexibility in your design to accommodate changes over time. Plants will grow, your tastes may change, and new ideas will emerge. A good design should be able to adapt and grow along with you and your garden. The journey of designing a small flower bed begins with understanding the unique characteristics of the space. assess the amount of sunlight that graces the area, the quality of the soil beneath, and the local climate. Each of these elements plays a crucial role in selecting plants that will thrive, ensuring that the garden flourishes with minimal effort. A well-planned flower bed is not just a collection of plants, it is a harmonious ecosystem that reflects the gardener's vision. In small spaces, every inch counts. Begin by selecting a focal point, perhaps a striking perennial or a vibrant annual that captures the eye. This plant becomes the heart of the flower bed, around which other varieties can dance. By layering plants of varying heights, from towering blooms to low-growing ground covers, a dynamic arrangement emerges, inviting the viewer's gaze to wander through the landscape. Diversity is key when it comes to plant selection. Opt for a blend of perennials and annuals to ensure ongoing interest throughout the seasons. Perennials, such as echinacea and lavender, provide a reliable burst of color year after year, while annuals like zinnias and cosmos allow for seasonal experimentation with different hues and arrangements. This combination not only sustains visual appeal but also supports local pollinators, creating a thriving environment. Pathways within the front yard can guide visitors through this floral wonderland. Whether made of natural stone, gravel, or pavers, pathways should create a sense of flow, inviting exploration. Curved lines evoke a sense of whimsy, while straight paths offer clarity and order. Lining these pathways with low-growing plants or decorative stones enhances their charm, seamlessly connecting different areas of the garden. As spring breathes life into the garden, the first blooms of tulips and daffodils emerge, heralding the end of winter's grasp. Summer arrives with a riot of colors, as roses and sunflowers burst forth, each petal a testament to the care and creativity invested in the design. Autumn paints the landscape in warm, fiery hues, while winter's architectural beauty, provided by evergreen shrubs and bare branches, offers a quiet elegance. Thank you for joining us on Concept with Justin. If you've enjoyed this exploration of small front yard flower bed and garden design, we invite you to subscribe to our channel.